All right, welcome everybody. This is the commentary for Gold Rush, episode 1 of Cowboy and Lucky, and I have me, Russell. I'm here with Chris and Hoke.
Hello.
Hello.
So, this wasn't the first episode we shot, was it?
No. This actually wasn't supposed to be the first episode. Booty Call was.
That's exactly right.
Well, I'll tell you this: after having to chase Cody fight, we're lucky I got to do any more episodes after this. It's a little too fast for me.
I remember we shot this in the middle of summer. This was a hot day. This whole episode was hot.
Yeah. Man, looking now at the difference
Look at Colin.
at Colin when he's got to be 13 or 14 right there.
Well, we shot this in 2010.
I mean, it's a long time ago. There's no gray in your beard. So
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was a long time ago.
This is downtown off Franklin.
That's the old Oak Lawn. There's Chris's other daughter laying out, Megan.
yeah.
Yeah. You're actually at Lake Waco, right?
Yeah, we're on the second beach.
Yeah.
And for people who's never seen movies being made, I had to run that
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 or 7 times.
Oh, yeah.
So I got slower every time.
This is the great thing about being back here in Waco and in Central Texas, and we shoot all our stuff in Waco, is,
Yeah.
I mean, a production like this in Hollywood, they'd have to shut down the streets.
Right.
You'd have so much traffic. And look, we're doing it right in the middle of traffic.
Well, what we did is we got Stephanie
Yeah. That's right.
Here she comes.
Me and
right
Stephanie
here to
were
hold
down
up
there.
traffic.
I think it was me and Stephanie were down there. I was on one end, maybe Steph was on the other, or maybe that's what it was.
Screen text graphics, of course, that's where we get all our hats and shirts and stuff printed. Jack and the gang.
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand how much it goes into on locations alone of making. That worked out. Actually worked out.
I remember I edited that scene, and that was brutal. That whole little getting hit, knocked down, and the editing, because we didn't have quite enough footage.
We didn't.
Well,
And-
it was hard for me to pull that off.
Yeah.
To just be running and
fall.
your feet fly out from under you.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little tough. Donut shop, it's not there anymore.
Donut. And
Yeah.
there's Pilar Sanders, Dion's ex-wife.
Yeah.
X now, wasn't in.
Yeah.
And remember we got to go to Dallas, or I got to go to Dallas with y'all and meet with her, and I met with Dion. And
Totally different guy
yeah.
behind the camera than in front of the camera.
Even looked different, but we'll just.
So my favorite part of doing any movie we do here or series is the locations, and that actually is a great location. We're at 32nd and Franklin, and
Old boxing club over there on the right.
Yeah.
just great. Now,
Old library binding building.
and Hope, for you as a writer,
Yeah.
I mean, do you write for? You kind of know these characters, like you know what Cowboy's going to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny you ask about writing at this scene, because this scene, actually, remember when we shot it, some of the crew was a little worried because you're talking about whores and stuff like that, and we knew this was going to be on TV.
Yeah.
And you have the Baylor shirt.
And the
the
Baylor
Baylor
shirts
shirt, yeah.
on. And I remember one, I go ahead and drop names. Rez, one of the camera guys, was like just shaking his head shooting this whole scene. But yeah, I mean, you write a scene. I know, I'd watched the movie that Brad had wrote, and so I knew that I wanted to make Cowboy stupid and Lucky straight laced, and to me that I thought Cowboy would just be sort of no hold bar, like nothing's off limits to Cowboy at all. Everything Cowboy can do anything, whether it be loose women, strippers, you name it.
Oh, I totally agree.
You know what else is off limits? Me with a mustache again.
Yeah.
I probably won't grow it back unless it's for a role. I did not realize how 70 porn stars
Oh, you got that?
it was,
Yeah, you're definitely rocking the porn stash.
but it's gone.
I'll tell you what I've learned from the director side is we're so much better now in the knowledge of, we don't have 300 people working. There's only 2 or 3 people working on set with us. But, just the knowledge of camera and our angles and our lighting now is so much better than than it was then.
And we're going with the new age cameras now
Right.
on all of our future productions.
Changing out lenses.
But give them some information on what we shot this on.
Well, we shot this on the old EX1s, and those were our newer, like it's almost like broadcast TV.
Oh, the EX1s? Well, the EX1s have a fixed lens, so I mean, you're pretty much getting the same shot in every, no matter what your circumstances, you're getting the same shot because of that fixed lens.
Yes.
Great for action, not so great for your close-ups. And
Oh,
your, and your whatever.
Here's Kaylee Caperton, singer-songwriter, actor. She would tick us off a lot because she wouldn't pay attention, and then she'd know all her lines. It's kind of frustrating.
Well, yeah, she's a natural talent in a lot of ways. Got good on-camera presence. One thing I'll say about Kaylee, and this is meant as a compliment, I thought on set sometimes that she was, I just thought she sucked, to be honest with you. But then when you got to editing and you see it on video put together, it's really pretty good. It's like
You ever think
the
it's
camera
like,
sees something differently than the eye sees.
Yeah, you ever think it's like a live performance where
Yeah.
it's used to all I got to do is show up and sing, and I think that's about what she does.
It's just, I don't know. Some things look better on camera, on video, than they do live. And I think she's just one of those people that looks better when it's edited together. Then she looks fine. Live or Die, Max.
Yeah.
Max Tucker. You had issues with his lines and stuff. But once all together, he's like one of the stars
yeah,
in the
he
movie.
is, exactly.
So it's the same. It's meant as a compliment, actually, to be honest.
Well, we're using Mr. Inkjet's van right here, and we are pretty excited because now we're fisting to one of our. I think it's our biggest shootout scenes.
Well, we wrote this episode to be a big action-packed introduction to the whole thing.
Yeah. You know what? That's also Scott, the driver, is Pilar's brother.
Right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So, and Eric does double duty, so we were excited to have him.
Yeah.
We're hoping they forget him.
Yeah, Eric actually comes back as a whole other character. Kind of like Sergio Leone movies.
And is that?
Is that real gold? No.
No.
That's prop gold.
We got Michael Jordan in the background. Now remember, this is the library binding company, so there is nothing in that building, but you hear that echo. I mean, it's nothing. It's huge.
And it is about 1,000 degrees inside of there with no ventilation whatsoever.
And it's episode 1.
Yeah.
In episode 10, we go back there, as you'll see, and build a nightclub.
Yeah.
Night fight club.
Yeah.
In the back part of that.
And since we go ahead, I think we all agreed to be a little looser on this commentary.
Yes.
Some people don't die as well as others
Well,
when you get extras.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a guy here that our bullets were slow motion bullets.
Hey, and we took frames out. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took
speed it
frames
up.
out to try to make them fall faster.
Well, one thing I'll add to is, up here, the firefight's going to begin. All those muzzle flashes are all done in editing. And that's really the first time we ever tried
To do those.
to get those kind of, digital muzzle flashes.
And if you see them loading that gold,
Yeah.
gold weighs a little more than an empty box.
These guys are strong.
They are. And that's big boxes of gold, too,
Yeah.
man.
And this is our first time to really use, and I'm going to throw our deal out there. This is the first time we really ever used Magic Bullet. These are filters we've put on there as well.
The
I can't even remember which one it is, but I know we.
Well, we used one for TV, then we used another one for web.
Yeah.
that's right.
Remember? A little darker for web.
Yeah. This actually, what we're watching here is what we remastered a year ago or whatever for rebroadcast on TV. We remastered the sound and filter.
Here they come.
And these are live bullets fixing to be shot. And live muzzle flashes.
This was a very, very hard sequence to edit. Extremely hard. We didn't have near enough coverage
I agree.
of everything. We should have had twice as much footage than we did. It was I don't know how we pulled it off.
And
in
Pilar
hindsight.
was only 2 hours late.
Yeah.
I mean, she's there on time
Yeah.
for her. Even though we got them a room to stay the night before,
Yeah.
where they could be on time.
That's true. That's what happens when you're working on a no budget
Yeah.
or very super low budget, and you have to work around. That's the thing that me, Chris, and Hoke have learned. We have to work around actor schedules and time.
Yeah.
And maybe divorcing Dion
Would help.
should be
man.
on time
yeah,
now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We just blame it on him.
Well, I'll say this too. This whole sequence outside here, for me, was the hottest day I've ever had shooting. I think y'all might have had hotter.
Well, intern Gary died twice.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Because he's
And-
sitting up there and he has the camera on blue. We can't use one bit of his footage.
I remember at one point we're shooting in the truck, and there was a little sliver of shade on see the edge of the building.
Yeah.
I think me and Steph and somebody else would like get in that little sliver of shade,
And-
just to get some relief.
All these gunshots are added
Yeah.
in post.
All of them are added in post, and we actually had to go kill. I had to bring Hoke back out there,
RJ.
and I had to bring RJ and Gerald
Gerald.
back out
Yeah.
there to give extra kills.
And the reason the muzzle flashes are so huge is because in post we kept trying to make them bigger. We're
Yeah.
like, make them bigger, make them bigger.
Well, we're watching one version, and we may use the other version for this commentary, and I think we made them smaller in that other one. I think there's one version where they stayed big and
I
another
don't
one where
know.
they're small, but
Maybe.
I'm not real sure.
Hey man, it's gonna bother y'all open this door.
Nah. We're doing this working. We're doing our commentary while
Live.
we're live while we're watching. They're bringing in product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at
We're
cinema,
at the cinema on the big screen.
So
and they're bringing in beer, which we may drink some of.
Yeah.
during the
that
commentary.
should show people listening right there the difference between us and Spielberg. We can run a bar and make movies at the same time. Spielberg can't do that. Ain't no way. He just runs billion-dollar companies. So
I'll remember this. This was the first day we ever got to use Eric,
yeah,
and the sequence here with him and Chris turned out to be really, really good. I mean, it really did. Cowboy got shot there, and he's okay. Just a bullet.
Always is.
just looks at it and shrugs it off.
Cowboy saving Lucky.
Yeah,
And if you watch The Last Stand, you'll get why Lucky got his name Lucky.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it kind of was just like that, but as a kid.
I think this really turned out to be a pretty good little sequence here.
And I killed him so good, he turns into another character.
Yeah.
That's how good he died.
Yeah. Don't.
Now, what was the reason for the slowdown? It just
We only had like barely a glimpse, I think, of the shot and editing of her firing the gun, so I had to slow it down to even see that she fires it. But so I just used that, I think, to make it dramatic
Right.
that she had to kill somebody.
and if you see her shirt Bittersweet, that was an album.
That was
she,
her album. Sure was.
She produced and sang and wrote on most of the songs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's so many times in the series, especially we got better with the movies where we had to do things like slowing down frames or cutting out frames to make it work. We just didn't have enough footage. That's where we've really improved on is the coverage is way better now.
Well, one of my favorite things is there we're killing Gerald is it's midday afternoon,
Yeah.
and right now we're back at morning time. So
It happens.
that's the next day right there.
And not every day you can strangle somebody out with a
With a paper.
with a trash bag.
I was gonna make him
With a
see
guy with a
suffocate.
machine gun.
He's gonna suffocate. But I'll tell you what.
And special thanks go out to Pro Security.
Oh yeah.
They always came to our aid when we needed some sort of police car or police escort or whatever we needed.
I know there's a scene coming up, probably talking too much ahead, but where something happens to the guy driving. And actually, like a lot of people I know gave me criticism over that it was like too much. It was so bleak. They're like, God,
yeah.
this is like so bleak an episode. I was like, well, that's what it is. You know?
Hope wrote it. It's going to have talk of prostitutes and killing.
Lots of killing and prostitutes.
Now, this is our first made-for-TV series
Yeah.
because we had done 3 web series, and then we did the first movie, Cowboy and Lucky, in 2009, and the deal with Fox was this was a pretty big deal for us just to get it on TV. I mean,
Yeah,
with
it was
3
huge.
people.
Yeah, with 3 people, and then also we delivered it, and the equipment didn't really match up with our render.
Oh, yeah.
The first
yeah,
couple
yeah.
of weeks, and
That was hard. That was very
it
difficult.
gave us a little trouble there, you know. But we bounced back. They bounced back. We went out and we reached out to a friend of ours, Ben, who does production work and a lot more TV stuff,
Yes.
to help us get our settings right, and then
Thank God for
it was
Ben.
off and running.
Yeah. Well, to me, when Brad wrote the movie and then the web series before I come along, and I'd watched the movie, and the thing I was trying to do with the series and with Cowboy Lucky in general was make it more like Grand Theft Auto, the video game. I'm a big fan of that series, and I always thought, well, and the great thing about the game is like all time some obscure weird mission comes up, and it's like you have to go kill this guy or steal this, and it's always something out of left field. So I always wanted to do it where like Cowboy and Lucky had to go do these weird missions. They never like normal where like just follow
They were.
a cheating husband. It was always like weird missions.
I like how we made Lucky smoke, and we
And
never
he
seen
never
smoke.
had-
Never smoked. Yeah,
But I throw him away later.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah,
throws him
he
away
does.
later.
yeah.
And
And I don't think that. I think Cowboy, when I wrote him, got way stupider than what y'all were doing before.
Oh, yeah.
Not a whole lot.
was-
Do you think? Okay.
He was
from the
already
web
stupid.
series,
Yeah, I mean he's always stupid or
the web
silly.
series, he was stupider than first movie, and then
There's Cody.
at Lolita's, which we've used
100
3 or
times,
4
yeah.
times.
That's
It's-
awesome.
We used it. I don't know how many times in the series, and then
Yeah.
Wounded, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Jeremy and Lolitas, our friends. And then, of course, we use the same people. And that's what's funny because Cody was the star of Live or Die.
Right.
And everybody that was in this were pretty much in Wounded.
And if you don't know, it was an instant classic. Says it right there
Yeah,
on the
sure
cover.
does.
Yeah.
This was pretty funny. And that's the old trick from when Chris got hit by him.
Yeah.
Chris gets him back.
See the brilliance of the writing, how like what was first comes back around. That's the
What's
the
that called?
nuances. It's called Goodness. I think.
Goodness, that's what it's called. Yeah.
In comedy, it's something. In stand up, there's a word for it. I didn't know if it applied there, but
Well, there's probably a word for it, but we'll just go with Goodness.
I'll tell you what, Cowboy's wardrobe, man, that's not far off really from mine.
If you notice that shirt, didn't it repeat itself as a zombie shirt in
Yeah,
another
yeah,
version?
sure did. Sure
I
did.
like how Cowboy's cowboy hat ended up as a cowboy hat to a fedora to I don't even know what happened to it eventually. That's the beauty of Cowboy. You can do anything with him.
Well, that's it for episode 1, and I'm pretty excited about doing all these.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I haven't really watched them in forever. So, it gives you a chance to watch them again.
And another thing I liked is the way that the ending credits were with all the pictures and everything with everybody and
Well, we
using
had to fill
Kaylee's
some
song,
time and-
So,
got Kaylee's song out there and some behind the scenes pictures. Pretty cool.
well, hope you enjoyed it, and get ready, folks, for episode 2.